Hi everyone, my name is Otis. Welcome to Otalium's Academy. In today's video, I'm just going to discuss a very interesting topic. But before I get started, I just want to say thank you to all of you that have subscribed to my YouTube channel. And the wonderful comment and feedback you left was so wonderful. I really appreciate that. So let's go into what we have, into the topic that we have today. That is introduction to search engine optimization. Are you a business owner, or you own a website, you own a blog, or you are a vlogger? This topic is absolutely beneficial to you because it teaches, I'm going to walk you through on the basis on how to optimize your website, you can optimize your blog, how you can optimize even your YouTube video, because that search engine optimization is the bedrock for your online visibility. That is the reason why people can find you on the pages of Google and other search engine. So now let's get started. What is search engine? But I'm going to start first of all by telling us what SEO means, because most of you might have heard about SEO, which is a popular term if you own a website, or you own a blog, or you are a vlogger. So SEO is the acronym for search engine optimization. Like as I said, it is the reason, it is the science behind your visibility online, why Google will index your site. All is just as a result of your effort in optimizing your site and making it Google and other search engine ready. So SEO is the process and practice of increasing the quantity and the quality of traffic that goes to your website through organic search. I mean organic, that is unpaid for, because there are different type of traffic. You have paid traffic and you have unpaid traffic. And that is what we are talking about, especially for beginners. It is important because you don't want to drain your budget. So the first thing to do is to start optimizing your site. And I'm going to walk you through the basis of search engine optimization today. And you might ask, why search engine? Well, or what is search engine? Search engine is basically a robot that goes about on the internet looking for website, looking for fresh content that is going to index, that is going to crawl and index, put it in its database so that when people are searching for it, it pulls out that information. But I'm going to explain in detail as we go down in this presentation. And don't forget the SEO golden rule. I use it a lot. Improving the user experience. That is one of the most important part of search engine optimization, because you're building your website not just for yourself, not just for search engine, but for the users. So you want them to have a good experience on your site, to navigate through your site with little or no difficulty. So I'm going to move to the next slide, and that is the purpose of a search engine. Like as I said, remember, the search engine is a robot. It's a set of algorithm. So now, what is the purpose of the search engine? So before we start talking about optimizing your site, making your site Google friendly or search engine friendly, we want to understand the purpose of search engine. One, crawling and indexing your web pages. So you might have been on the browser searching for information. So, and Google pulls, or other search engine, they pulls out information relevant to your query. Something is happening behind the scene. So before the Google or other search engine do that, they crawl and index your site. So now, what is crawling? Crawling is the discovery process of gathering web content, because Google and other search engine uses their algorithm, which is known as like the spider, or what is called the crawler. Like as I said, these are robots that is stationed on the internet that crawls your site looking for updated content. And if it meets their guideline, they index that content, put it right in their database so that when users query for that information, they pull it out for the user. And what happens if your website is well optimized? So you will be lucky enough that you appear on the first page of Google What does that mean to your bottom line? It increases your return on investment. It increases your sales. It increases your profit. So, like as I said, I've already also explained what indexing means, because when it indexes your site, that means your site is actually Google friendly. So it's eligible to show up in Google search results or other search engine search results. So also one of those things that the search engine, one of the purpose of the search engine is also is retrieving answers to query. When I say retrieving answers to query, we all do that. We all go on the internet looking for information. Once you put in an information and Google pulls out to answer your question, to answer your query, so it pulls out, and this is what this search engine does. That's why I said this is a set of algorithm, which is known as also robot or a crawler or a spider. So now we're going to move in to look at how people interact with search engine. We're going to look at the search process. This is something that each and every one of us, every one of you do on a single basis, on a daily basis, because we are all on the internet searching for information to satisfy our curiosity. So it starts with a thought. An internet to search for an information, it begins with a thought. You want to look for an information. So what do? You put that thought, you formulate it that into words. So take for instance, I am looking for car renters. So I have it right at the bottom of my mind that I need to rent a car. But now I'm going on the internet to search for the car renter. So I put this into words like car renter near me or car renter in a certain city. So I have formulated the search intent into words or phrases, which is also known as query. So that's what I put on the browser. I enter the search query into the search engine to what to execute my query. I'm asking Google and other search engine, please provide me with this information that I'm asking for. So what does Google do? It uses its algorithm to pull out the information that it believes is relevant to your query, to your search. That is why when you go on the internet and it pulls out different information, different URL. So what do? You browse through this result to see if it meets your intent, your search intent. So, and I'm going to just do a simple experiment to just walk us through to understand what I'm talking about. Let's say I'm just going to look for, I'm just talking about Boston SEO, let's say partners. I'm looking for an agency that I'm going to work that's going to help me to optimize my website. So, this is what I'm just actually talking about. This first set, this first three that you see are actually paid search. So people pay, they pay to be in this position. But if you go down, you have these ones are unpaid for. These are they are is appearing on the first page of Google. So these are natural effort. That's what we're talking about, the SEO. So this is what I'm talking about. So once I query this, I put this keyword Boston SEO partners. So the search engine has actually populated different information that it believes is relevant to my query, the question I'm asking Google to provide me. And that is why. So what do? I'm going to browse through this information to see if anyone meets my search intent. If not, I'll keep on browsing. I'm going to use probably a different keyword until it satisfies my intent. So I'm going to go back to my slide. So that's the process when I'm talking how people interact with search engine. That's just how the search engine works. So you click through the result pages to find if there are information, if it contains the information that you are looking for. You scan through if it is, you click on any of those links, then scan through the content on each of those web pages. So that's how the search engine works. So understanding how to manipulate this algorithm to project your website for those to meet that user's intent is what we are talking about as search engine optimization. So, and I'm going to move down to how people, I'm still continuing with how people interact with search engine. We just did a simple search to illustrate what we're talking about. So now, once you have that search intent, once that search intent has been executed, but there are also some driving force behind every search intent or every user's query. I mean, when I'm talking about user's query, is when you are requesting for information on Google. So that's what I call the user query. So you are telling Google, another search engine, please help me with this information. So, and it uses its algorithm to pull those information. So, and how are this information? How are these queries? So I'm classifying these queries into three uh, broad areas. One, you talk about your search intent to be either for navigational purpose. What does that mean? A navigational query is search query entered with the intent of searching for a particular website. So let's say I'm just looking for universities. I just put universities in the United States. So these are actually navigational query. Then when you talk about the informational queries, these are information oriented searches about a topic or about the product. So that's informational. So, because without actually, that doesn't mean that when you're doing an informational query, the international query does not always have a kind of a concrete intention to buy. So it is important that we understand the difference between navigational queries, informational queries, and transactional queries. So when we're talking about the transactional queries, these are transaction searches. Like, it's just a kind of a form of request with an indication to actually or an intention to buy or make a purchase. So, as a search engine optimization specialist, or as a business owner, or as a blogger, or as a website owner, it is important that you understand these important factors, because it's going to help you when you are optimizing your site, when it comes to the choice of keyword and how you are going to outlay your web pages and the type of content, relevant content that you're going to put into your web pages, because you now begin to decipher the intention of the user at every point in time based on the kind of services and the product that you are offering to the general public. So I believe this is a very useful information. So let's go the search engine optimization. The search engine optimization, we're going to look at it in two different ways. They're actually it's divided into two different perspectives. And one is on-page SEO, and the other one is off-page SEO. It's just as simple as the name as it sounds. When I say on-page SEO, that means the type of effort that you need to the type of effort that goes into optimizing your content, the kind of methodology, the strategy, the effort that you want to use to drive organic traffic into your web pages and also improve your user experience. How do you make your website pages? How do you make it easy for users to navigate when they land on your landing page or your destination page? So on-page SEO is the practice of optimizing your web page content for search engine and also users to improve a website search engine ranking. When we talk about the search engine ranking, it's also a very, very important word for you to note. The search engine ranking is very, very important because that is your position on the search engine. You see, when you go on the internet, you are browsing for certain information. Google pulls out the most relevant information that Google thought or thinks that will satisfy your intent. So, and how does that happen? Because it uses a set of algorithm to look at the information. That is why, and when at the beginning of this presentation, we talked about crawling. So when Google crawls or other search engine crawls your website, so they index this website, put it in their database, so that when users are queried, this thing happen in split of a seconds. So that is why it is important when you are writing your page content, be mindful of the kind of keyword that you use. Make sure that the keywords are relevant to that page, because that will help your online visibility. Online visibility, I mean, a lot more people seeing your website on the internet, because of what good is your website that even if your website is so nice, so beautiful, and people are not seeing it. So the science that goes behind to make it visible is what we call the SEO. Then the one that you have control over, which is within the confines of your website, is known as on-page SEO. So then we have off-page SEO. So on off-page SEO, you don't actually have control of what happened. When I mean you can have control in the input, but on the output, you don't have the control over it. So these are actually actions taken outside of your website to influence ranking within search engine result pages. So like I said, there are a lot of things that goes into you showing up on the first page of Google and other search engine result pages, because everyone wants to be on the first page of search engine. Everyone wants to be on the first page of Google, because when you are there, that increases your return on investment. You make more money, you make more sales. So, and that's why everyone, every site owner, every website owner, every business owners are actually looking forward, optimizing, making sure they attract their competitors so that they are more exposed to they are exposed to more visitors, more prospective customers. So that's why the search engine optimization is actually very, very important. And again, is all natural process of driving traffic, quality traffic to your website. So it is absolutely very, very important. So we're going to look at this on-page SEO because it is absolutely broad. So we're going to be looking at specific area, things that you need to do on your website to make sure that your website is user friendly, is Google friendly, is search engine friendly. So that's what we call I'm going to look at some of these components under the on-page SEO. So you're talking about the basic practices. I'm looking at it at three subhead. You talk about the basic. I'm going to talk about the basic practices that you need to have, you need to look into if you want your site to rank on the first page of Google. You're going to talk about I'm going to talk about the content. I'm going to talk about the usability under the on-page SEO. So looking at the basic practices. So there's what we call the title tag, the meta keywords, and the meta description. These are absolutely important because these are what advertises your content, your website to the outside world. This is what people see, and your title tag should be compelling enough that will attract or someone or a prospective client or customer to actually click your link to go to your website. So that's why the title tag is something that you have to pay attention to. So I'm just going to walk you through. Just go to the website and just explain this for some of you who are new to SEO, so that you begin to understand this basis. So which is absolutely important. So here, this is what we call the title. Like if you look at this website, it said Boston SEO partners appear on the first page of Google. So absolutely, if I am looking for an SEO agency that will help me rank my website, so I'm using certain keywords, and I pulled out this information. This look attractive, Boston SEO partners, and unfortunately, well, good enough. We live in Boston, so and it's attractive and it's compelling to me because I feel that okay, this is just a neighborhood. This is just an agency that is within the neighborhood or within the city. So, and first of all, it brings it local. So that's what I'm just trying to tell you, that you pay attention to the topic, because that's what attract people to actually visit your website. So this is Boston SEO. SEO appear on the first page of Google. That's the title tag. So, and this happened at the back end of your website. That's where you can actually insert this title tag. So, this one below here, this is just a brief description of what this website is all about. And that's what we call the meta description. So, and we're going to look at, you see this SEO here, is actually one of those keywords. So, like as I said, if you go back to my slide, I talked about the meta tag keywords. So I talked about the title tag description, so which is the title. Then the meta keywords is you just want to tell people what that page is all about, because web browsers are likely going to put SEO agency, SEO this. So that's why probably the site owner inserted that keyword SEO, which is popular on the internet. So now we're going into the content. That's what we call the anchor text. It's absolutely very, very important when you're designing your website. So pay attention to that. Then you have actually the header tag. The header tag is this is at the back end, and for those of you, though, this is actually basic, so I don't want to go into technical. So I don't want to go into technical so that I don't throw you off balance. So the header tag is just like if you go into your the HTML code, you have the header tag. So where you're just going to tweak, you're going to write about what your site is all about. But there are different plugins that can help you do that now, especially if you're using a WordPress and other content management system, that you can actually embed this search engine optimization tools that will help your optimization process. So I talked about the keywords. So this keyword is also appearing. So the first keyword, meta keyword, that I talked about on that this basic practice, that's the one that comes on the title and in the description part. So this is just the keyword. See, this is actually bold here. This is also another keyword. So you have the keyword on the title, you have the keyword on the description, meta tag description. And if you also look at the website URL, it has something SEO partners. So probably this one, why it's just showing on top of this search engine or Google search. So let's go into what you call the usability. The usability is very, very important. This is why I keep talking about the user experience, because if your website, if there are technical issues, not really technical issues, if people can navigate through your website, if they find it difficult, if they find it challenging navigating your website, so they're actually going to run away from your website and go into your competitor's website. And what happened? You lose a tremendous amount of traffic when that happens. So it is very, very important when you talk about the image alternate tags. So let me see if I can, let me go into this website to see if we have, if there are, if there are images. So it's more important that I actually talked about this. So let's go into this website, images. So you see images like this. Let's see search engine optimization. So I just want to walk you through so that okay. So the search engine algorithm find it hard to read images. So they can't read images. So, and what you do, you just have to add the alternate text. So this could be at the behind. You're telling the search engine that this is a SEO service. So you can actually put it at the back end to let the algorithm read what the search engine, what the site is all about. And actually, I'm going to do this. Let me show you what Google sees when they are crawling your website. This is absolutely what the search engine sees is when they are crawling your website. This is actually what you see, but this is what the robot, the algorithm, this is the things that they see. This is what they read, what they go through. This is what they read. So you find out that, so that's why it is when you pay attention to all this. Then I talked about the header tag. Let me see if I'll be able to actually put the header tag. So you see the header here when I talked about the header tag. So this is the header. So you can insert content between here to tell search engine what the site is all about. So you see in between here, you can insert your meta description. You can put your title tag there. This is what the search engine reads. So everything here is what is showing up here. So this is just a little bit giving you an insight on the technical aspect of it, but I just want you to understand the basis first, because that's what you really need, especially even if you don't have the time to actually do the optimization of your website to when you are outsourcing. So it is important that you understand what you are actually outsourcing so that you'll be able to track and measure what your client is doing for you, and you'll be able to ask relevant questions. So I'm going to go back to my slide. So talked about then the file's name, the media description. So I don't want to go so much there so I don't get you lost, especially if this is your first time of getting to or know more about search engine optimization. Media description could be your video, could be your images. So I'm going to go to the next stage. So we're talking about the off-page SEO. Remember that the SEO, that word is search engine. S stand for search engine. S stands for search, E stand for search engine, and O stand for optimization. So if you're a blogger, you're a website owner, you're a business owner, so you will keep seeing this word every single day, because if your website is not showing up, you're going to get a call by some of these SEO sales rep or digital marketing specialists who are looking for business. They're telling you that your site is not showing up on search engine and you're confused. You don't know what SEO means. This is so technical. What is it? So that's why I'm just breaking it down for you so that you have a kind of overview of what SEO is all about. So it's interesting. It's also sometimes challenging because it's just a kind of an ongoing process. So when we look at the off-page SEO, like as I said from the beginning, that the off-page SEO this with the influence that anything that is outside you can actually control the input, but you can't control the output. So what does that mean? We're talking about the link building. The link building is just like a PR, building your network, building relationship. Can you see, like someone would just tell me, how good is your network? So the same thing, search engine look at your site. So if people are not linking to your website, and the search engine is actually looking at, okay, why is it that if this website is so good, why are people not ranking to this website? It's just like the celebrity. People flaunt around the celebrity. So you want to make your site as a celebrity in your niche. So you want to stand out. You want to be the baby of your niche. So a lot of people will be able to relate to you. They like your content. They're sharing it with people, and it's showing up in different directories. So that triggers off an alert to tell the search engine and Google that come, something is happening on this website. This website, there must be something quality. There must be something good happening on this website. So what would Google do, or other search engine? They begin to index your site, because then that will begin to increase your ranking, because the more link you get, it's just like in the physical world. Tell me who you are. Tell me who your friends are. Then I'll tell you who you are. So the same thing, because I'll also be mindful so I don't forget saying this, because the links, there are quality links, there are bad links. So when you're trying to uh, when you are putting links, getting an inbound or outbound link, try as much as possible to get it from domains that have high authority domain and high page rank, because that will actually boost your site ranking when Google is ranking site, especially within your niche. So the link, like I said, it influences your search engine ranking, and it add value to your website, because that will make the search engine feel that your website is good enough to show up on their first page. And again, the social media, we all know everyone is on social media. So the social media site, try as much as possible to actually be in different social media, because it adds different juice to your website. There's a lot of people. When your site is exposed to more people, then the more traffic that you are likely going to get, especially when you're not paying for it. And everyone is on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, on Tumblr, on LinkedIn. So try as much as possible to make your site available on these different directories on social media, because it adds a lot of juice to your website. So I'm not going to talk more much about the structure. This is also technical, but it's also important that you understand the structure of your website. So we're talking about the sitemap. The sitemap is a kind of a roadmap, the outlay that makes it easy for search engine to crawl your website. So it's just like giving a framework of, when, let's take for instance, in your apartment, you just have a direction and you're sending somebody to your home this is a 3-bedroom apartment. You go through the right. I have the first room, I have the bathroom, I have the next room, I have the next room. So that's what the sitemap is all about. And it's also a ranking factor because it helped Google while crawling and indexing your site. The robot test is just all about a kind of communication within your website and the search engine. You're telling them that, please, there are certain pages on the website that I don't want you to crawl. So you can use that robot test. Then the Google Search Console, I like that too. It's very, very good, especially for beginners that you don't have the technical knowledge. It tells you in a simple language what is wrong with your website. It tells you that. It tells you this is something that's wrong with your website. So, and you can fix those errors, because if you don't fix that, that is going to affect your website. It's going to affect your visibility, and you get a warning. You get you get a warning through your email that something is wrong with your website. So that's why the Google search is very, very good. So once you do this Google search, you can actually link it to your website so that it captures every information, the visit on your website. So it's very, very important. So I encourage you to do so. If you're already on a website or your blog, you have not install Google Console, just do that. Just do that. Just do that. Just do that as soon as possible. So now I'm going to go into we talked. Said the SEO violation. So in as much as we're talking about optimizing your website, it's also very, very important for you to be very careful not to over optimize or under optimize. So there have been different violations because that could also hurt your optimization, your site ranking and visibility on the internet. So too much of everything is bad. So I've seen quite a lot of people who are actually trying, probably they over optimize, not trying to game the system, and having putting so much keywords on your site, having so much keyword on your site, and that could also, which is termed as keyword stuffing, and that could also have a negative impact on your Google ranking. Like I said about keyword stuffing, then avoid making sentences into anchor text. This could also create confusion on the website and make the web content difficult to read. So stay away from keywords that are not associated with your site. So I know that a lot of people develop that habit. Sometimes people, I get tempted, but I don't do that because I see that as very, very negative. So people use negative keywords thinking that that had nothing to do with their website because they are looking for traffic, and they try to game the system. I've seen I've seen someone who will try to review the website, and there was a lot of keyword stuffing about trying to use different celebrity because he thinks because those celebrity are they are highly sought after. So, and what this guy did was to insert this celebrity keyword that had no relevance to the content that is displaying to the users or to the prospective customers. So you keep inserting that, and the site was actually having a very high bounce rate. So I did a comprehensive audit for the guy, and we find out that we made some changes, and eventually the site start ranking. So let me go back again to talk about something that we need to talk about. On Give me 1 minute. So Uncle Test. So talked about the violation. So this process here. So like we talked about how search engine actually view the website. I was just trying to see if you look down here. So you're just trying to tell me new issue tab. This should see aggregate warnings from that. So I don't really pay so much attention to that. Then I talked about the Google Console. I'm going to go to Google Console to see what that means. So I'm going to Google Console and see how the Google Console work. So this is a new site that I'm working on. So there's no much data, but I just want to show you what you need to actually that can help your search engine optimization process if you really want to show up on search engine result. Google Console is very, very important because it helps you to analyze your website. So this is going to, let's start here. I'm going to check the website. So this is how the Google Console look like. That's why it is important for everyone, every website owner or every blogger to actually let me use this. This website is not actually on now. So this website is undergoing maintenance currently, so it's been shut off from the internet. But I just want to show you, it just popped in a web that your site has been switched to mobile indexing. Thank you, I appreciate that. So this Google Console will help to monitor your website if there are issues. That's why it is absolutely important. If you are a newbie that you just started your website, you don't understand what SEO means. So I would advise that as soon as your website is up, so try to sign up with Google Search Console. What Google Search Console is easy to sign up if you have a Gmail account. Once you have a Gmail account, go to your browser, type in Google Search Console, and it's automatically create an account for you. And once you get into your account, this is what you see. This performance tells you how your site is doing. So this site, I haven't actually published it. This is just going into it. What is it telling you? It said they've been 3 clicks. Total impression. Total impression is the number of times they show it to your customers. The average click-through rate, the CTR, that's click-through rate, 6.8. Average position 55, but I'm not going to rely on this because the website is not actually earned. These are just probably is capturing what I'm doing because this is a new website that I'm actually rebuilding. So I've already installed my Google Search Console that is monitoring the site. So it runs it through for me. Then you see the performance. You want to inspect your URL. You can actually type that here and inspect your URL. Then the coverage issue. This tells you if your site is having a coverage issue. So you see what I was talking about, your website, the importance of SEO. So this complements your SEO effort because it tells you where you are coming short, where your website, if your website is not doing well, the number of pages that have been indexed, because if your site is not indexed by search engine, it's not going to show up on Google or other search engine result pages. So what it's telling me, it tells me that there's no issue. But if there are issue, it notes it here, like here's 0, there are issue, there's 1, 2, 3, 4. It tells you, you put it here. So if there are valid warning, it shows up here. This tells me that there's nothing wrong with the site, but for now, not until I publish. So I'm not going to rely on this information for now. Then this is the sitemap that I talked about. So once you're done creating your website and you've launched your website, so you don't have to wait for search engine to crawl your website, for Google to crawl your website, because Google crawls website periodically. So what you need to do is just to bring in your URL here, paste your URL, your site URL here, and hit submit. Once you hit submit, the Google will index it immediately. So you've shortened that time that Google will use to crawl your website. So that's once you do that, it tells you, it shows up here. So I was just trying to play around with it. I just submitted. So it said could not fetch your website because one, I have not actually validated it because this website is not live now. So then you can also remove the URL that is halting your site. Also, you can also tell Google and put it here and put a request for them to remove the URL. So you can remove it. I talked about Google Core Web Vitals in my last video, so you can watch my YouTube to learn more about Google Core Web Vitals, because to see how your site performs in the real world and usage. So if you want to know that, so you do that. And mobile usability is very, very important, because if your website is not showing well on mobile, then you're going to have problem, because most people are using mobile now, and statistics is showing that more people are using mobile than the desktop. So, and you want to get your site ready for that. So you have to optimize for mobile. So this Google Search Console gives you information and tells you about what is wrong with your site. If you want to know, it's just you're like your primary physician. You run to your doctor to find out if you're not feeling well. You just want to know what is wrong with you. And once the doctor diagnoses that this is the problem that you have, then you can now talk about the treatment, the kind of treatment that you want to administer. So that is what the Google Search Console is. There are also other tools, but I like Google Console. There are different tools, so I talked about it in also different tools to optimize your website in some of my videos. So Google Core Ventals and security and manual actions. So the link, you can also look at the total link. This is very, very important. So this is what I'm saying. So this website hasn't been published, but I've been working on the links on it. So this is part of the SEO process, because it tells you, that's one good thing about digital marketing, because everything is measurable. So it's going to show, but sometimes it takes a while, but your result will definitely show. This is Yellow Pages. This site is on Yellow Pages, on Pinterest, on bb.org, it's on MadViz, it's on Pinterest. So I'm sorry. So that's why this is very, very important. And top linking test, so it's telling you the top linking test on your website. So this will also help you in your optimization process. So that's why it's absolutely important. So I think I have actually exhausted most of that. This is just kind of a message, an alert that is telling you new product issues detected for your site. So, well, this is the kind of messages that you get on your email. So it is important when you get this message to actually work on it, because if you don't work on it, it's going to have a negative impact on your website, and that will affect your ranking. So as soon as you get these text messages, try to fix those errors. So if you can't, if you cannot, you can actually hire someone to do that. So think we've covered the basis for today, and I strongly believe that this will be very, very helpful for someone today. So if there are questions that you have, then you can actually add the questions. So for some of you who are taking note, I just want to take the next 5 minutes to actually run through, so that you can take some notes and what those things mean. So if you want to start here, what the SEO. So you just take your time, like as I said, the definition of SEO is here. Why search engine, like a lot of people have asked. So you can actually write down something. I'm just going to give you in the next, let's just give 10 minutes for you to do that. So, and I'm going to monitor it to see that we're going to monitor it. So now, so I think we are done. I guess you've done this copy. So I'm going to move to the other one, the purpose of search engine. For those of you who are following, so you can just take notes, or you can come back to watch the video. So I take note a lot. So that's why I'm just making it available for our audience to actually take note. I like taking notes. So even from outside, I'm just putting it on my brain, writing it down. That's the kind of person that I am. So, and I strongly believe that there are millions out there just like me. So, that could help you. So, I'm going on. This is the purpose of search engine. So, I move to how people interact with search engine. So, you can look at it, the search engine process. Like as I said, intent to search for an information. So, just giving you those bonus, just go through it. Our time is running so fast. It's running so fast. So just okay. Let me make sure that everyone gets that. So let me make sure everyone gets that. So that's it. So that's it. I'm gonna move to the next in the next few 2 minutes. So I'm gonna go down there. So make sure that you're taking notes. So search engine is absolutely a good thing for you, especially for beginners. If you want your website to be showing on search engine, it's really great. It's a great tool. So then the also going through how people interact with the search engine. So we'll have the navigational queries. So I'm just going to give you a few minutes to also take note here so that then we'll know that I'm going to give you 2 minutes here to take this one. So I think I'm generous enough to let you write down some of this information. So that I just want to make sure. So this is on page SEO. So that's it. So I just want to say thank you. And I don't forget to subscribe to our channel and let's work together. If you have a question, you can drop your comment or you can send me an email. If you want us to help you optimize your site, just shoot us an email. We'll help you to do that. So thank you for watching. Before you leave, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you in our subsequent videos. Thank you.